Deeply rooted in magic and the ancient mysteries, the Temple of Hathor in Dendera was originally called Eunit, and my recent visit there revealed a completely new understanding of it, and I'd like to share some of that with you in today's video. What first struck me on this visit is how her presence is literally felt everywhere, because on every wall, every column, on ceilings and in the crypts, there's a constant repetition of her image, her symbols, her attributes, and her isolated face. To understand something, we must start with its name, because the name of a thing is its face, and your face is how you present yourself to the world. Now, Hathor is one of the very few netters whose face can be shown frontally in both paintings and reliefs, and as you approach the temple, your eye is immediately drawn to the 6 enormous faces of Hathor, carved onto the capitals of the columns and looking straight out at you. Then as you get closer and enter the great portal, you realize that each capital has 4 faces, looking out in all 4 directions. And being placed so high up, there is literally nowhere you can go that she is not watching over you. I'm sorry for the analogy, but it's a bit like an overdose of 5G. Except the energy of Hathor is completely natural. Yet energy flows in waves, and just as the man-made waves like internet permeate every millimeter of the air we live in, likewise the entrance to the temple is completely charged with her energy, flowing all around you, containing you, holding you. Her name is made of 2 hieroglyphs. Hat looks like the floor plan of a house, a rectangle with a smaller one in one corner, and inside sits a falcon representing the netter Horus. So the hieroglyphs reveal that Hathor is the space that contains Horus. Now the netters are personifications of cosmic laws. And in my other videos, I've explained how each one represents either a male or female principle, which is not the same as male and female as we normally understand them. The female principle is that which contains, and the male principle is that which is contained, and this is most clearly revealed in their genitals. During their sexual union, the male organ is completely contained within the female, which is perfectly designed to hold it. So as a female principle, Hathor is that which contains or holds the netter Horus. The netter Horus is a personification of cosmic consciousness, and these days so many light workers or star seeds are pursuing this higher form of consciousness. Yet in a way it's a waste of time and energy because you already have it. You were born with it. So let's make an analogy of higher consciousness as water that can freely flow in every direction. Yet without a jar or vessel to contain it, this precious liquid will quickly be lost. The capacity of holding and containing this energy must be put in place first, otherwise it will be scattered. In a later video, I'll speak more about her symbols and attributes, but for now let's return to the temple's original name, which was E-unit. Those of you familiar with my videos on the myth of Iunu will realize that Iunet is a closely related feminine form ending with the T determinative. This proximity holds a vital significance since Iunu was dedicated to the Netta Atum and among other things served as the distribution center for atomic energy. In the myths, Hathor is also the consort of Atum, who, as the original monad, represents the monatomic state, and the energetic relationship between the two can be tangibly felt in her temple. This connection triggered my great revelation when I remembered the mysterious temple in Sinai and the multiple images of Hathor seen there. That temple will be the focus of another video, because rather than simply a place of worship, it was the center for the production of monatomic gold, an exotic substance with many metaphysical properties. Plus, it was served to the king and temple sages as a superfood for heightened spiritual illumination and understanding. In its monatomic state, the gold exists as an extremely fine white powder that must be dissolved for human consumption, whereby it resembles milk. And how many images have you seen of the king drinking milk from Hathor, either in human or bovine form? As I've said many times, everything in sacred Egyptian art is deeply symbolic. And gold has always been revered as the most precious of substances. So to be fed and nourished by it means to be fed by a true elixir. Now the Iuna temple is filled with an overwhelming amount of hieroglyphs, yet on this visit the combination of these two drew me in like a magnet. The upper hieroglyph is gold, and the 3 dots below it are grains of sand or something granulated or powdered. And depending on the context, these are often followed by an arm, which is what we use to do things, and above it a rising slope whose edge can be either straight or curved. Reading them symbolically, the gold powder is what's used to raise things up, physically or metaphysically. These hieroglyphs are particularly evident alongside specific images that repeat in the long, narrow crypts that certainly cry out for a more detailed study in another video. Here we see them by an undulating serpent that rises vertically from a lotus flower on a slender bark. And here again by a serpent rising from a lotus staff held by a young man. Then the exact same imagery repeats in these controversial scenes that certainly do not represent a light bulb. Rather, the clue lies in understanding the magical properties of an edible form of gold that was used for rituals carried out in these crypts. Each crypt is physically quite difficult to get into and out of, and their painted reliefs are in a wonderful state of conservation precisely because their entrances were carefully hidden within the walls and floors of the building itself, so they were not discovered while other images in the temple were being damaged. To sum up, this last visit to the Iunu temple revealed vital information about Hathor's relationship to cosmic consciousness, to Atum and atomic energy, and why she appears so often in the temple that sits high up on a remote plateau in Sinai. These hieroglyphs provide the missing link that lies in the magical white powder that forms a golden triangle between all three locations, and the necessity of containing it. So to stay tuned for more information on Hathor and all other aspects of the temple teaching, click the like and subscribe buttons and consider supporting the channel through the link you'll find in the description below, where you'll also find a link to my blog, News from Beyond. And as ever, thank you for watching.